Okay, everything seems to be functioning on my end. Hello Manu, hello Lamb. Uh, I don't. In theory, Twitch chat should be working. I think I fixed it. Um, Otherwise, we're just continuing Sonic 06. I am excited to get to the botched line, and hopefully a couple people will be here to react to it. um, I don't know. It's weird to start a stream in the middle of a game instead of like at the beginning of a game where I can explain the premise and everything. I just like don't know how to start this stream, but hopefully I can finish Shadow's story today and get at least a good chunk through Silver's. I'm probably not going to beat it because Silver's levels are insanely long. I guess the point of this stream series is to like explore the game design more than anything, right? Oh, ow. Which you can't really do when you're in the middle of the hub world going 2 levels. This level is a little bit different from Sonic's Radical Train only because while you do need to go fast, while you do need to go fast in the same way, it's for a completely different reason. Your goal is to destroy the train rather than to save it because Elisa's on it or whatever. I think the switch will stop it and we can attack this train. On data on your quickly dying phone. Hopefully you can charge your phone soon. Yeah, I don't know. I think Shadow's story, the reason I think it's a more boring version of Sonic's is because it focuses mostly on combat as opposed to the speed and platforming of Sonic's story, despite the fact that Shadow is, like, in lore, supposed to also be fast. Oops. So, I don't know. I think just that reframing of it, especially with Shadow's slower combat, makes Shadow's story a lot more boring to me in a lot of ways. Thank you for the luck wish, Alyssa. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I like Shadow's story because I like this game, but I like it a lot less than Sonic's story. I've seen so many clips of people dying on that last spring. Not the way I did, but because they try to hold forward instead of homing attacking onto the platform. But if you've... Oh god, what? Okay, the first time the Lightspeed Dash has done me dirty in this playthrough. Anyway, if you've seen my Blaze only Sonic 06 video, like, when you jump off a spring, you can't actually get momentum off of that, and Blaze can't air dash off of a spring. Sonic and Shadow can, so it's less of an issue there. But, like, if I just hold... Oh my god. If you just hold forward off of the spring, you will not make it to the platform, and you'll actually fall and die there. Which is why I'm homing attacking. And because I'm apparently bad at controlling the video game, it's throwing me to my death. Which is 1000% a skill issue. The camera is a little funky, admittedly. And I see why people have issues with it, but it's definitely something you can learn and, you know, respond to in kind, which I feel like is kind of the point. Hopefully the Lightspeed Dash doesn't screw me over this time for no reason. I feel like it's very strange to have a level focused on speed that also heavily focuses on combat. Because, like, you have to kill enemies quickly, but there are also optional combat challenges that just make it harder to beat the level. And because of the time bonus, it's not like it's going to make it any easier to get the S rank, you know? So, I don't know. I've always found it easier to get the S rank by just running instead of trying to do all the combat encounters. Hello, Lucky Dragon. Thank you for the compliment that I still don't know how to take. Would this, like... I wonder if this would be a good time to use Chaos Burst. Probably not. Instead of a Mach Speed section here, we get a vehicle section, just like with the, like, spot where you snowboard in Radical City, or Radical City, what? This isn't Sonic R. In Crisis City. Sonic R is another Sonic game that I adore, though a lot of people really don't like for some reason. I really need to make that Sonic hot takes video. I think that would be very fun. Oh my god. Okay. The graphical glitches there are pure Xenia. The falling over was not pure Xenia. That was partially on me, partially on the ramps not feeling intuitive. I don't know. This section in Sonic Story, it's not... It doesn't, like, feel perfect in terms of how... Oh my goodness. In terms of how it controls. But... It's something you can get used to, and it's very much the same case here. It's just extremely difficult to get used to how it controls because you're so infrequently going to be riding on vehicles. Like, obviously, Shadow Story is the only one where you actually ride on the vehicles. Oh, right, we need to destroy the train. I need to actually get to the train to do that. I don't know if you specifically need the vehicle to destroy the train. You might be able to actually homing attack it. I never got to this part in my Blaze only video, which I feel like I would have figured that out there. Oh my god. Okay, I guess we're gonna figure it out. I might just be too slow to catch up without it. I feel like most of the levels in this story have too much of a reliance on vehicles and stuff for this to actually be possible in or with Blaze in that challenge format, which is kind of the reason that I just never ended up making the second part of that. I definitely could, but it would just be like, okay, this level's not possible because you need a vehicle. This level's not possible because you need to pick up a thing with Kinesis, which you can't do as Blaze. So, I don't know. Oh my god, I did the exact same thing. It's probably faster to just run to the next bike, which I think is right here, right? Yeah. Hello? Shadow Story, I feel like, is also a little bit glitchier than Sonic's. Most of the time, it's not noticeable for me, but evidently things are, that's quickly changing. I might not be able to catch up. Is there a boost button? Whoa. Okay. Not when you steer completely off the cliff. That's where I'm not terrible at this game. I just haven't played Shadow Story very much. I feel like once I get to this part... oh my god, the exact same thing. Every time. Once I get to this part, in like my attempt to analyze the game, you know, in my normal playthrough, I'll be a lot better at this. But for now, yeah, you just like stop moving completely there for a second. That's very strange. I feel like until then I'm going to be pretty bad at the vehicle sections, which is weird because car platformers are like my favorite genre of game. Probably not my favorite, but it's definitely up there. I thought that the train here didn't like start moving until you reach a specific trigger point, but either the trigger point is farther back than I thought it was, or it's moving constantly, which is why the vehicle is at the first part and not exclusively here. I remember this being kind of finicky and like not being able to do this despite constantly hitting the train multiple times. Oh hey, I did it. Okay, never mind. It's a B? Yeah, I'm not super worried about S ranking this story, because I haven't played it nearly as much as Sonic Story, and it doesn't hurt my pride nearly as much to not get an S rank. Okay. I believe we have the silver fight now. Which is exactly the same as Sonic's version of the silver fight. It's just, no, it's exactly the same. Just in a slightly different spot. He's also not picking anything up, so I can't hurt him. What? Hello? There we go. You have to wait for him to... Oh my god. When he picks stuff up to attack you, he says, how about this? which is why I was just running around not looking at him. And wait, Silver can pick up rings. Does that heal him, I wonder? Shadow's also a lot slower than Sonic with his acceleration. What the? Oh, too slow. Admittedly, this feels a lot worse, only because Shadow, like, stops, oh my god, in place when you homing attack. Which I feel like is another huge reason why I don't like Shadow's story nearly as much as Sonic's. Oh my god, this guy. Gotta refresh the graphics buffer a lot more in Shadow's story, apparently, for whatever reason. I think the idea is to, like, run him into things he can pick up, instead of just waiting for him to pick stuff up. Oh my god, see, he just stops. Homing attack. I don't know, I feel like Shadow could have been a lot more fun of a playstyle if they didn't make him so similar to Sonic, just kind of slower. Like, if they either made it a completely different playstyle, like if they did something like they did with Shadow 05, where he had maybe not necessarily guns, but if he had more, like, interaction with enemies and environments and stuff, and more ways to interact as well, I feel like this could have been a lot more fun. But, and again, I do enjoy these levels because I like this game, and I think this game is fun to play. It feels good to play. And I think the level design still holds up to a lesser degree because Shadow has less ways to interact, not fewer ways to interact with the environment, but very similar ways to Sonic, just kind of lessened. But, I mean, the level design is still really good, right? You're still playing very similar levels to Sonic Story, and in the moments where you're not using the same levels as Sonic Story, you still have completely different, also really good levels. There you go. I don't know. I don't know this part of the game nearly as well, so, like, I have a lot fewer things to just, like, talk about in terms of the game design and such, like I would with Sonic Story, because I know Sonic Story so much better. But, you know, kinda trying to fill the empty noise. Oh, right, Aquatic Base comes this early in Shadow Story. Well, early is a strong word. We're... Oh my god, why do I need to keep refreshing that? We're over halfway through the story. I think right after this level, we have the, like, town mission, and then we have the botched line before Wave Ocean. Now that we have these purple enemies, which are stronger variants of the red ones, it actually becomes a lot more beneficial to use the Stunning Chaos Spear move. Especially on the worms, because the worms will, like, jump around, and it's really annoying if you don't stun them first. It also makes the multi-hit a lot more useful. Yeah, so we can stun and then kill them, and they won't, like, jump around, try to get away, or even, like, attempt to attack you because they're stunned, obviously. Yeah, one just dove into the ground, and I can't attack them while they're like that. You can also jump into the bike and shoot them from a distance so they don't run away, but I actually don't know if that would end up being faster or not, to be honest. Oh my goodness. I haven't played Shadow's story nearly enough for that. Yeah, if you don't stun them, this is an incredibly annoying section. Which I know from a single playthrough. Oh, there's more? There's so many of them. That should be it. Yeah. We get a silver section. And it's exactly in the same spot as tail section. And we can actually complete it in exactly this. What the? The spring betrayed me. We can complete it in the exact same way as Tail Section, where we just skip over half of it. I still don't have any of Silver's upgrades, which is unfortunate, because Silver's combat becomes a lot more fun with a lot of his upgrades, but... Yeah, like, this swipe move is supposed to stun enemies, but it doesn't work the way you would expect. And there's a slam move that you get as an upgrade later that functions as opposed to the swipe, which doesn't function super great. I don't know. I have times where it works perfectly and times where it just doesn't work at all, and I'm really not sure why. I do like Silver Story, and I think despite some of his moves just like not working like they're supposed to, it works well enough that I have a lot of fun with it, which I feel like is a lot of this game for me. I really don't have an issue with things not working if I can still have fun with the game, which doesn't seem to be the common sentiment around video games in general, let alone Sonic 06, the infamously broken and terrible one because it's broken. Yeah, like, he's supposed to be stunned. There we go. It does work sometimes, technically. Yeah, you can just kind of jump around stuff. You can use the crates, what the, to get a lot more height. Oh my goodness, not like that. You can use the crates to get a lot more height, and then just kind of float over, which might not work. I don't have enough. You can do that. I just didn't start with my whole meter. I have to start over the whole stage. Oh my goodness. Okay, looks like we're gonna figure out if the vehicles are faster. We might not get to Silver's story this stream. It's kind of weird that there's just kind of a bike in here, and that it doesn't draw attention to it. It definitely feels like a band-aid solution to the combat with the worms being annoying because they constantly jump away. But with the dogs like not spawning until you get near them, it also feels like they did that specifically so you can't cheese it by just standing back and shooting. I don't know. It feels not very well thought out, unfortunately, which is probably the case. Again, it's still a case of like, I enjoy this game. The vehicle's not faster, by the way. Definitely not. I still enjoy this. It's not like I'm not having fun, but it's also a lot more obvious that they didn't think this through very well, and the level design and enemy layout and everything does not serve as great of a function as it does with Sonic Story. So it's relying more on the basic movement, and if you don't like the basic movement, well, I was intentionally going really slow. I was very much feathering because otherwise it's very difficult to control, especially in circumstances where you're specifically trying to aim at very skinny targets, you know? The bike isn't horrifically slow. That was mostly me, on purpose. Yeah, it's just that it's so hard to aim with the bike that it's functionally impossible to actually shoot the enemies quickly. There we go. Like, it does kill the enemies faster, but it's harder to aim with. I know that there are times where you can't, like, stun enemies. Jesus. Shadow constantly dying in the background is pretty great. There are times where you can't stun certain enemies, and I don't know if that's happening all of the time with not being able to use Silver's stun button, but it is definitely happening some of the time, especially with the bigger guys. But, like, there shouldn't ever be a moment where you can't stun these guys, to my recollection. So I don't understand why it just doesn't work sometimes. Probably just... I don't know. Probably just 06 jank. That was much faster. What I normally do is I grab this box, which lets you very easily jump over the lasers, because it's on top of another box. I should be able to make it this time. If not, You can land on top of the lasers and do it anyway. Wait, what? Why does... Okay. I love the buddy characters can actually die in the hub world. There are very few instances where you have a buddy in the overworld, but when you do, they can still die, and it's very funny. Oh, I forgot Shadow does the jumpies. Oh my goodness. Come on. I feel like that should have been part of Silver section. Oh my goodness. Not having rings is probably not a good thing here. Okay, we're good. Something just dove into the ground. Welcome back, Alyssa. All three of them dove into the ground. Oh my goodness. I think that using the Chaos Spear gets you a bunch of Chaos Energy, which is very strange. Especially considering it doesn't actually deal any damage. We have not gotten to the line yet. The line is coming very shortly after this level. We have a town mission, and then the line, basically. I don't think I need to kill these enemies, actually. Okay, yeah, here. And there's a checkpoint. Yeah, I was going intentionally slow to analyze level design. It definitely didn't die a bunch. I see, another thing that it makes it feel like Shadow Story was probably the most rushed, at least in terms of level design, is that he gets very similar layout to Sonic Story, despite not getting the same abilities. So like in that tunnel, we had the lasers that Sonic could anti-gravity under. You can also kick under them in Sonic Story. But like you're very obviously supposed to use the anti-gravity power-up, where you like slide under them, but Shadow obviously doesn't get the anti-gravity power-up, right? And then there are these long hallway stretches where Sonic would be able to quickly run through, and it feels like they just kind of patchworked a vehicle in to make up for Shadow's slower movement speed. Oh my goodness. Which, I mean, like, I like that they focus on a different gimmick, and I feel like Shadow Story could have been really good even with the crunch time, but because they focus so much more on combat instead of, like, vehicle movement, which I do focus on a bit in, like, you know, the first level, or whatever, but because they focus so much more on combat itself instead of the movement, it becomes a lot more stale a lot more quickly because they don't have different level layouts or shorter levels, right? Shadow gets the same length of levels with a much, much slower format. And Silver also has much longer levels, but his levels are explicitly focused on exploration and puzzles, which makes sense for a slower format. And because of that, I feel like the longer levels aren't that much of a detriment, especially because so many of them can be navigated through extremely quickly. Like, the only exception to that is Dusty Desert, and Dusty Desert happens to be one of my favorite Silver levels. I don't know. I think going slow with Silver feels better than going slow with Shadow. Like this... Am I supposed to use Chaos Burst here? It feels like I should, right? Because it's a bunch of enemies that are all clumped up next to each other, which is the perfect opportunity to use Chaos Burst, but they're all extremely easy enemies that do not need Chaos Burst to take out quickly. Yeah. I don't know. This could have been a good story. It really could have, even with the time crunch, but it just kind of isn't. Oh, an S rank. Perfect. It's like so close. I should be able to buy upgrades. I probably could have bought upgrades, but I didn't last time I was in town. Yeah, exactly. Silver is specifically built around being slow, and his levels and moveset take advantage of that, as opposed to Shadow, who is focused on combat, and his moveset focuses on combat. but his combat is also just slower. Oh my goodness. Into town mission. Oh. Yeah, Sonic's combat is just faster. You fight the same enemies, but kill them faster. Yeah, like this whole combat section is one that is very similar to, you know, ones that Sonic has in his story, but Sonic just gets through them faster because he doesn't pause after every homing attack, and he has that bounce bracelet where he kills enemies nearly instantly instead of having to mash A and take a few seconds for every single enemy, you know? That wasn't even an ad. Oh, it was, okay. Just barely.
Perfect.
I think we actually have enough rings for every single one of Shadow's upgrades now. Sonic has the most by far, and most of them are fairly useless. Like, I've never used the green gem, the red gem. I've used the purple gem to mess with glitches. I've used the sky blue gem to mess with glitches. Admittedly, those two are probably extremely useful for movement. Not the purple gem, but the other one. Oh my god, Twitch chat works! We can see it in the... That's crazy. Did I get this one? I did. Yeah, that's all of Shadow's abilities. Or shop purchases. YouTube viewers will actually be able to see the Twitch chat and the woofing in Twitch chat and be envious. So this part actually took me forever to figure out, like, where to go in my first playthrough, because you have to come to a very specific point in the town and do something that is not very well explained. Cross-platform woofing. You have to do this. There's nowhere in the game, nowhere else that you do anything like this, and I don't think it's very well explained at all. Oh wait, here comes the line. I love that the retake wasn't even good. It's great. They messed up the initial take, which is fine. That's like voice acting. And did a retake. Didn't cut the initial take, and the retake wasn't good. Incredible game. Wait, what? Oh, there's a spring. Okay. They sure did keep that in. I think Wave Ocean is Shadow's longest stage. It's either Wave Ocean or Dusty Desert, which are the last two levels. I'm pretty sure it's Wave Ocean, though, from my recollection. Yeah, Rouge does that. She does it a lot. We have Amy with us in Silver's story. Wait, we walk around this part of the level later as Omega. I never realized that they reuse the exact same section. That's actually kind of cool. I like that. Like Oblivion. I feel like Amy jumps into the water a lot more often than Rouge does. That might just be because I had a really funny clip with Amy jumping into the water, though. Oh. Owie. True. Relatable. I'm gonna assume that you didn't send that twice on purpose, but I think it's funnier to think that you did. Yeah, Omega, it feels like Omega and Shadow are supposed to be the best at combat, right? Because their movesets are specifically tailored to it. But both Tails and Sonic are better and faster at combat, and chances are you're gonna have played Sonic's story before Shadow's, you know? So. Just really wanted people to know. Understandably. Owie. I don't think Omega has a way to stun enemies. Not sure though. I think the grounded shot might be better. Yeah, it's faster and you keep your movement. And the aerial shot. Might be shorter range though. I don't know. Oh yeah, Omega can just kind of... Which is pretty great. I love it. You can go very far by just tapping the A button. That little stutter was, in fact, me refreshing the graphics buffer. The game doesn't perform that poorly. That was a Xenia thing. I don't know. This game is one where I can, like, understand criticisms and like to join in with them a little bit. Because it is funny. Oh, hey. Completely cut off the line because I was going too fast. I like to rip the game because it is absolutely horrifically broken. But I kind of love it for that. I don't know. I just have fun with this game. Couldn't really stun that guy, but I guess it didn't matter. This is gonna sound so pretentious if I say what I'm thinking, but I feel like I have to. The ethos of Sonic, right, is to enjoy life, however that may come. And I think that might be partially why I enjoy this game so much. Like, it's absolutely part of why I love Sonic and the Black Knight, right? Sonic and the Black Knight is my personal favorite characterization of Sonic because it's just that, right? That's his whole thing in that game. The whole thing is about understanding that life is short and you need to make the most of it. And like, I love that focus on his character, and his philosophy and his understanding of, you know, what it means to be alive. But with Sonic 06, while there is characterization of other characters, Sonic does follow that characterization a little bit, especially in his interactions with Elise, as opposed to whatever Merlina, I think her name was, in Black Knight. This game, it's horrifically broken. However, it's incredibly fun, and I love it, and I don't care that it's broken. I'm making the most of it, you know? It does sound pretentious, but I don't know. I like the game, and I have to justify that somehow, and nobody's gonna believe me if I just say that I think the most important part of a game is having fun, so I have to, like, tie it in with Sonic and, like, philosophy and, like, the general idea of what video games are supposed to be, which is very obviously art. And I think that art can be engaged with in many different ways. You know. I'm extremely... I don't want to say pretentious, but I'm extremely, oh my goodness, forgiving, at least when it comes to art, and how I engage with it. I don't think it matters how good, quote unquote, like how technically skilled a piece of art is. That genuinely does not affect my enjoyment of art whatsoever. What does matter to me, however, is whether or not I can find purpose to a piece of art for me personally. So, like, trying to think of examples. Am I supposed to kill enemies or something? What am I supposed to do here? I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something, but I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just supposed to kill these guys. If, like, Sonic 06, I love this game. However, it's horrifically broken, and I don't care. I still love the game, despite that. So I find fun out of it. I can get the philosophy angle that I was talking about. And that goes for any game that I love, you know? There are so many instances like that where I don't care about the technical skill put into a piece of art. If I can find something out of it that I enjoy, that's all I need. How do I do this? It's the same kind of goes for Car Quest. I adore Car Quest. That's one of my favorite games of all time. And one of my favorite things to do with it is to talk about it from a philosophical angle. And you could argue that that game doesn't have like a lot of tradition. How do I get out of this thing? A lot of traditional game design to it. Can I not get out? Does it just crash it? You could argue that that game doesn't have a lot of traditional game design poured into it. As much as I do think it does, I think the levels are really good. I think the interaction that I've had as a player personally has done a lot more for that game in my mind than the game design itself ever could. I want to take damage. Yeah, there is more to gaming than... I don't know, it can be just that, right? If that's how you enjoy engaging with video games, that's totally cool. I mean, I feel like a lot of sound effects aren't necessarily taken from other games. Just there we go, finally. Just kind of used as part of... They weren't taken from other games. They were also used in this one. It's probably a better way to put it. What am I supposed to do? There's got to be something. I don't know. You can engage with games however you want. There's no incorrect way to engage with games, you know? I think that's what I want to get at. Or art in general. There's no incorrect way to engage with art in general. And I feel like Sonic as a series is extremely evocative of that idea, right? Because, you know, you can take Sonic and the Black Knight and be like, oh, cool. Oh, my God. Oh, cool. Knights and Arthur and, you know, whatever. But you can also take it as a... what am I supposed to do here? You can also take it as what it's like wearing on its sleeve in terms of the story, and treat it like an experiment in philosophy, and the meaning of life and everything. And obviously it's an extremely basic and simple message that I feel like most people can agree with. But, you know, you can still explore it on those merits. Am I supposed to go this way? Maybe I'm just silly. Maybe there was something I completely missed over here. Ah, yes, there it is. I'm not going to blame the game for that. I'm 100% going to blame me, because I just didn't explore over here like I should have. Yeah, that's just from like a sound bank, right? It's not like it's not reused, it's just a sound effect that was also used. I think is a better way to put it. Battle, indeed. We have this town mission and then Dusty Desert, and I think that's the end of Shadow Story. Oh wait, we have one more boss, right? We have the last engagement with Mephiles. Then we can start Silver Story. I'm actually excited to start Silver Story because I am 100% defender of Silver Story. Did I say start Shadows? Oh my god. I don't know. I'm excited to start Silver Story because I am a staunch defender of Silver Story and really love it. I think that people's complaints with it are entirely based on the fact that they just wanted more Sonic instead of, you know, a unique and interesting engagement with this game. I don't know, a lot of fan projects around this game, Legacy of Solaris, Project 06, whatever, just kind of turn Silver into Sonic, but with telekinesis, as opposed to a completely different character with a unique... Hello? With a unique playstyle, and interesting mechanics and everything. Aren't the Half-Life sound effects just kind of built into Source? Like, they're specifically a public audio library for Source games or whatever. But they're, I don't know. I've never used Source as an engine. I guess I wouldn't know. Yeah, this feels like an instance where I should have used Chaos Burst. Oh, never mind. Oh my god. So a lot of the enemies in this game are like leaders of a group, and if you kill the leader, it will destroy the entire group of enemies, and that was one of those instances, which specifically feels like it's discouraging using Chaos Burst, because you only need to kill one enemy there, right? Which you can very easily do by stunning it and then spamming the attack button. Every time an enemy holds up a projectile like that it can drop and will hurt me if I get hit, or if I kill it rather, makes me think of a piranha plant in Smash Ultimate. That's such a weird thing to say. Like when they hold up the spike ball, if I kill them and they drop it and it lands on me, that's still gonna damage me. And my brain just immediately goes to Smash Ultimate for no reason. Lord Regis does have a pretty cool hat. Addo. Alright, Dusty Desert. In my opinion, significantly worse than Sonic's Dusty Desert. And Silver's Dusty Desert. But still a good stage. It also makes you engage with this vehicle in a similar but elevated way, which I think is really cool for Shadow's final stage. We have to... Actually, I think this is one of the few things that I think Project 06 just straight up improved. The pillars, the next set, like there will be 2 sets in front of you instead of only 1, so you know where to go next, because otherwise you just kind of have to wait as you go through a set of pillars to see where the next one's going to be. But in Project 06, it would spawn 2 ahead of you, so like you would see this one, and then you would see the next one in front of you, and going through this one would spawn the set of pillars after that, so you like have a direction where you're going, instead of slowly going through to make sure you're still going the right direction to make it through all the pillars. I think you do need to go through all the pillars in order to like open the gate or whatever that is at the end of the section, but I kind of wish you didn't. I kind of wish you could just beeline straight to the end. There are just kind of triggers placed around. This is not the way you go. Ow. Yeah, there's a gate up here that opens once you go through the last pillar. I adore this game. This is unironically my favorite Sonic game. I know there are very few people who think that, but I'm one of those freaks. I adore this game. I think Sonic Story is just like the perfect distillation of what I want out of a Sonic game. And I think Silver Story is a very fun subversion on that, because it focuses so much more on exploration and, oh my goodness, exploration and puzzle solving. I think Shadow Story is the worst of them, but not necessarily bad. I've played it on Xbox 360 hardware and on emulator. I've played mostly on emulator because loading times, but... Hi, Krista! Freak. Yeah, self-admitted. I haven't played the... Oh my goodness. I haven't actually... Hello? Camera. I haven't played the PS3 version. I've heard it's worse than the Xbox version, but I wouldn't know. Shadow Hedgehog. Damn it. I just homing attacked a spike ball and did not take damage. Okay. You're about to finish Skong? Didn't you do that already? Or you mean you're about to get the last ending? Oh my... The combat of all time. Oh, that's a lot shorter range. Okay, that's why I use the aerial one most of the time. Oh, shooting in the air makes you lose all your speed. So be careful about that. That's actually interesting. It probably wasn't intended, admittedly, losing all your speed if you shoot midair, but I kind of like it. Forces you to not just spam attacks while flying. Or gliding. I don't think I will ever end up 100%ing Self-Sun. I still haven't... Actually, I haven't played in a while, but I never ended up doing the High Halls Gauntlet, and I ended up going somewhere else and not enjoying the area I was in, so I took a break. I just never ended up going back yet. I definitely will never do Steel Soul. That's an optional thing. What do I got? Could be a switch somewhere. Oh my goodness. I feel like Omega... I don't know. Omega's sections are very strange. Oh, you have to kill all the enemies. Okay. Because I don't really know what they focus on. It feels like they're supposed to focus on combat, where Shadow focuses on movement combat, Omega focuses specifically and exclusively on the enemies and their layouts and everything. Because his moveset isn't really about movement like Shadow's is. But you also have a lot freer horizontal movement than any other character. Are you implying that you wouldn't if I didn't do Silksong Steel Soul? Yeah, oh my god. Sonic 06 has the best soundtrack of any game. Full stop. I love this game soundtrack. It's my favorite video game soundtrack of all time, and it's not even close. I love the... I don't know. I love all of the music in this game. Aquatic Bass is definitely a favorite. Wave Ocean is also up there. Dusty Desert. I love Dusty Desert despite not liking this kind of music most of the time. I also think, what other music? Flame Core Cavern is one of my favorites. Hello, Loot Crate. Welcome. Oh my goodness. Someone stole your number 3. Oh my goodness. I feel like Omega's the worst character to be fighting these enemies. The attack's way too slow to fight them while they're moving. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Hold on. Okay, everything's fine. I hate that they get iframes when they do that. Watch the live action Sonic movies? I would... Have you watched the OVA? It's definitely not necessary, but I think the OVA is really good. It's a completely different characterization of Sonic from most media of him other than the old cartoons, and even then it's still pretty different from like Sadam or Adventures or whatever, but I don't know. I think it's worth a watch. I think it's pretty good. Loved it? Good. The music in the OVA is so stupidly good. I love the South Island song, the song that plays while they're fighting Sonic and Metal Sonic. Sonic Underground was peak, that's true. Okay. Sonic Boom. The Sonic Boom show is one of my least favorite characterizations of Sonic, not because it's not good, but because it doesn't feel like Sonic to me. Like, it's still a hilarious show, and I love the show as its own thing, but when comparing it to Sonic, there are so many other Sonic characterizations that I prefer over it. Oh, my goodness. Okay. I still need to watch Sonic Prime. I watched the first few episodes, but the legal service that I used to watch it wasn't doing super great when I tried to watch it last. So I never ended up finishing it. I'll probably try to finish that soon. Yeah, it's not Sonic, but it's great. Sonic Underground, I don't think the story is as good as, like, Sadam, but Sadam was never I mean, Underground also wasn't finished, actually. I don't know. I think Underground is really good. I think I prefer the vibes of Sadam. It's calling, Keed. Boom Knuckles is your favorite Knuckles. Himbo Knuckles. Oh my goodness. Live action movie Knuckles is probably my least favorite iteration of Knuckles, if I'm being honest. Oh my goodness. I don't know. It's not like all the Boom games are bad. Shadow and Crystal and Fire and Ice, you know, are infamously good Boom games compared to... Why did it attack that one? Huh? are infamously good games compared to Rise of Lyric, but I don't know, it did feel a lot more like geared towards children, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I definitely understand not necessarily enjoying it as much. Because like Frontiers, I don't think it feels more mature. That's not the right word for it. But it definitely feels more geared toward everyone as opposed to, you know, only children. So I get it. I don't know, I feel like that style of humor wouldn't really work with more modern depictions of Sonic's character. Hi, Manu. I hope your studying is going well. Okay, Shadow Final Boss. And it's just Mephiles again. This is what the Mephiles fight in Shadow Generations is based on, though it is different. I think it's the same thing where we need to build up our Chaos Burst meter. Excuse me, or whatever. But, oh. I don't care about S-Rank. I don't know why I'm getting rings right now. Do I just have to survive right now? Oh, where'd he go? Oh, right. Doesn't look good. I feel like that's one of the... Rouge's line is one of the better lines in the game. That just didn't hit me. Be chaos on my control till I burst. I don't remember what I'm supposed to do here. Maybe I was supposed to attack there? Mephiles and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I am so apathetic toward Cross Worlds, and it makes me sad because I wanted to like it. I'm glad it's going well, and I'm glad you know more than you thought you did. That's a good sign. Okay. Okay, that seems to have done something. Ah, yeah, there we go. And now we build up the Chaos Burst meter. Just gotta wait for certain attacks and then finish. I wonder if they attack in spawn order. Seems like it. Ow. Here we go. That should fill the meter. Ah, yeah, okay. You know, this actually kind of reminds me of the Infinite fight. The one where he's like, "You cannot stop me." I don't know why. I just need to attack the one the camera's focusing on. Oh, right, and you gotta do the homing attack chain, which doesn't work very well because Chaos Burst. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well. False idol. Yeah, kinda. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about this. Oh my god. Now I have to fill the whole meter again. Wait, does it just basically restart the fight? That's annoying. At least I know what I'm doing this time. This is an instance of, like, jank being... I wouldn't say game-breaking, but annoying to a point where it gets discouraging to engage with it. There are ways to, you know, go around it. Where in order to, like, actually do the homing attack chain, you have to, in Chaos Burst specifically, you have to, like, hold the button Or like keep pressing the button so you get the bounce after like the jump. I don't know. I'll explain it better once I get there because it's kind of hard to explain from just seeing or without actually like knowing how all the mechanics work. The Crossworlds Online is unstable. I don't know. I feel like that makes sense, or that's kind of expected, in my opinion. But that is unfortunate for sure. Yeah, the price is also very high for a spin-off racing game. I don't know. Especially when I can go back and play any of the other Sonic Racing games for a much cheaper price. And in my opinion, the experience isn't different enough to warrant buying an entirely new game. Okay, so what I think I need to do is mash, so I get the bounce. Mash every time I do a homing attack. Yeah, there we go. And that is the end of Sonic or Shadow Story. Is this where you get the line?
Need to stay focused.
Or was it before the fight? If it was before the fight, I apologize for skipping the line. But I think it's here. If you don't know what the line is, I am sorry. We'll see. Shadow. I think it is before the boss fight, in retrospect. Ooh. The real final boss. It's like, what's with the adventure era and foes that turn into goop? Where are you going, you big drip? Goofistopheles.
It's destroyed.
The Eye of Now absorbed your power through your shadow in the past. What may have worked 10 years ago no longer does.
I love how his mouth morphs. Wait, do we have another boss fight? I didn't remember this actually. Oh right, because don't we play as Omega in this fight? Actually, I don't remember. Or this might be a cliffhanger for the final story. Oh, they're doing the autism shape.
You must realize now that you cannot hope to stop me with your limited power.
So you say.
It's futile. The world will betray you.
Here it comes,
Why fight at all?
I think.
Why risk your life for those who will persecute you later?
If the world chooses to become my enemy, I will fight like I always have.
There's the line. You see that a lot with actually a lot of autistic revolutionaries use that line in my experience, so I think it's pretty great. Silver is your favorite to play as. I don't think that Silver is particularly fun to play as over the others. I love playing. Oh my god. I love playing as Silver. I think he's super fun, but it's because of his levels, not necessarily because of his playstyle. And Sonic is still my favorite, just because I love the movement in this game. The slipperiness is kind of part of that. He doesn't even, I don't know, slippery isn't the right word. It's easy to overcorrect, which I think is fun because it forces you to kind of play with a bit more precision. Whoa, Silver Hedgehog. But I don't know. I think you're the first person I've ever seen who says they prefer Silver to Sonic in this game. I'm very much... I'm not the opposite of that opinion, but I'm probably the opposite of the common sentiment where I do actually like all three quite a bit. And Shadow is my least favorite by far. Ow! They threw a car at me. it'll be a lot easier to engage with the combat once I get the like stun all the enemies around me ability. For now, the combat is just kind of throwing stuff at enemies. That missed completely. That missed completely. Oh my goodness. Okay. The explosive crates are the most powerful for now because they actually have an area of effect, so you don't need to throw it perfectly. You don't get to like directly aim your shots, but you can heavily influence where they go by just understanding like where you're facing. Has a pretty big influence on where you attack. Oh yeah, Blaze! We actually have Blaze sections in this story, which is really nice. I think Shadow story is the worst because it's just slower Sonic, but I don't know. If you think Shadow is cool, which he absolutely is, and you like style over specifically the gameplay itself, like he's still fun, you know, it's not like he has bad gameplay. I can definitely see liking Shadow quite a bit. Come on, stun. There we go. Blaze as a cat. You have a dramatic misunderstanding of Blaze's character in this game if you think she's just tied to Silver's hip. She has her own entire character arc, and also, like, the reason she cares about Silver so much is because she understands that he's, like, a big part of saving the world. And she knows that she is too. You know, she, like, sacrifices herself at the end of the game because of her whole character arc. She is not just Silver Hedgehog sidekick. I also really love the telekinesis. I think it's really fun to play with. And the way it opens up a lot of the level design, especially with how you can jump on stuff and pick it up while you're on it, combined with like the floating and carrying objects to throw it, and then like the being able to throw enemies to kill them a lot quicker than you would by just throwing stuff at them. There's a lot of intricacies to the telekinesis that you can use that are not just throwing crates to damage enemies. So yeah, I also really like and Silver's telekinesis. I think we gotta play. We'll at least get through my two favorite Silver levels in this stream. I'm pretty sure, those being Tropical Jungle and Dusty Desert. I will try to S-rank them because I feel like you kind of need to properly engage with Silver's gameplay in this game. Where if you just try to run through the levels, Silver's gameplay is extremely boring. That's why people don't like Black Knight, right? Sonic and the Black Knight. Where if you just sprint through all the levels and ignore everything and don't try to get a good rank or whatever, it gets extremely boring. But if you're like actually properly engaging with the game and trying to get good ranks and trying to get through the levels in an engaging way and like trying to have fun, it gets so much more fun. But I feel like you could levy the same thing. Like, if you think that's a negative, I feel like you could levy the same thing at pretty much any Sonic game, right? One of the most good, quote-unquote, Sonic games is Sonic Unleashed, where you can absolutely just hold boost through the majority of that game to no detriment. I don't know. Blaze's combat is actually... Without the bounce bracelet, her combat is better than Sonic's because she doesn't have as long of a pause after homing attacks as Sonic does. But with the bounce bracelet, Sonic is still the most one of the most combat capable characters in this game. I think Tails probably outshines him still, just because of the fake ring bombs obliterating anything instantly. I like Tropical Jungle a lot because the first section of the level like really forces you to engage with the telekinesis to navigate in a lot of ways. Like, I don't know, it'll be more obvious once I get there, but using the telekinesis to navigate the first chunk of Shadow's Tropical Jungle, like, there's so many ways to navigate through it. Gender cat. I think Tropical Jungle is his second level? I don't remember. It's one of his earlier levels, I know that much. And so is Dusty Desert. Legacy of Solaris and Project 06 removing the mini golf from Dusty Desert is unironically, in my opinion, one of the most egregious things they could have done. The mini golf perfectly encapsulates Silver's gameplay, and I love it so much. It's one of my favorite, I don't know, puzzle probably isn't the right word, but telekinesis mastery challenges in Silver's story. I think it's very fun to do. Ow. They threw a car at me. Wait, you can't... There you go. You can stun him when the, like, core of the head is open, which is when they take more damage when Sonic attacks them. I don't know. It's weird. I don't understand how the, Can this be broken? It can. I need to throw stuff at it. I don't understand those big enemies because the animation isn't dramatic enough to, like, show off when they're damageable. The car physics are pretty great, I agree. Ow. Why won't you stun? Okay, that works too. There we go. I don't need a ring bonus. That's probably one of my least favorite Silver levels, just because it's so basic. There's nothing that really takes advantage of Silver's movement or anything. Easy S rank though, as the first level. I just realized all their names start with S. Like, I've probably had that realization before, but just clicked in my brain. That's probably intentional, right? I don't know. Silver the Hedgehog, because he looks silver, is pretty silly. Yeah, Silver's Iblis fight is, I don't know, all of his Iblis fights are pretty underwhelming. Probably better than Sonic's Iblis fights, though. Especially the last one. I hate the last Silver Iblis fight. Oh my god, he's picking up a building. Probably something I should do about this, but I don't know what it is. Silver the Hedgehog, because he's always number 2. True. I mean, I love Shadow's characterization in this game. I think this is the best instance of Shadow's characterization. I think it's one of the worst instances of his gameplay. I think. I don't know. Because, like, there's a lot of instances where I really like Shadow's gameplay. Like, Shadow 05 is quote-unquote bad based on general public sentiment. But I really like Shadow 05. I don't know, he's too slow here and doesn't have anything to set him apart from Sonic because his focus on combat is just worse than Sonic's combat, despite it not being the focus. But I do really like Silver here. I did steal his hat. He didn't need it. Am I supposed to... Do I just wait now? True, general public sentiment does think that Elden Ring is good. I don't know. Elden Ring is, like, almost good. It's, like, halfway there. Oh my goodness! I'm honestly not entirely sure how I was supposed to dodge that. Can I have balls, please? Balls! Ow. One more? I don't know. I don't hate Shadow's vehicles. I was on S rank. That's very surprising. I don't hate Shadow's vehicles. They're definitely better than running on foot in certain sections, at least. Yeah. I... Okay. Yeah, I really tried to like Elden Ring. Like, I tried so hard to like Elden Ring. Um, I don't know. I've played the game for like 450 hours. I like the game. It's just replaying it is so hard. Even when I use different weapons, I feel like I'm either nerfing myself or like I'm not getting a different experience every time I use a new weapon. The difference for me between Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3 is... Oh, Tropical Jungle, I think. The difference between Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring for me is that Dark Souls 3 is focused primarily on the how do I put this? Dark Souls 3 is a lot less egregious and a lot of the things that I don't like, as opposed to Elden Ring, which has everything that I don't like in Dark Souls 3 turned up to 11. Like, the things that I do like in Dark Souls 3 would be like enemy placement is like really, really good because it specifically forces you to engage with the game in a specific way. Otherwise, you're just going to be going slower through the levels, as opposed to Elden Ring, where it does encourage a lot of kiting, which doesn't work in Elden Ring because of the significantly less well thought out enemy placement. And there's also nothing to offset the you're going to get hit thing like there is in Dark Souls 3 with the Estus refill system. I don't know. There's a lot that I really don't like about Elden Ring that was also somewhat present in Dark Souls 3, just significantly less strongly. So what I love about this level, instead of killing this enemy, if we come up here, jump off this box to get up here, we just unlocked a completely different progression path through the level. You can get through this level in like 3 minutes. It's incredible.
Gotta be careful not to fall in.
I mean, I used to be casual with this whole series, and then I started making content on it on my main channel. This is technically my second channel, and I don't know. I fell in love and then started making content, and then I fell in love even more because that's just a completely different way to engage with the game. I don't know. I love the Souls games so much. They should make a game about Torrent. I agree. That's a great idea. Yeah, enemy placement in Elden Ring feels so slapdash, especially compared to Dark Souls 3, where everything feels so much more thought out. What is this guy doing? Can I, like, get him out of there? There's a way to stun him, which you can do with Silver's upgrade, but I don't know if I could have bought the upgrade yet. So for these guys, you can actually stun them once they lose both their arms, as opposed to, like, when their core opens, which I don't even understand what that means most of the time.
I wish I could go up.
Shadow of the Erdtree? I think Shadow of the Erdtree actually did it significantly better than the base game. I think the longer you hold this, the higher you jump. I think Shadow of the Erdtree did it significantly better than the base game, with the exception of the last, like, city area. I forget what it's called. Just because there are so many fewer enemies throughout most of the rest of the DLC. Goat sauce. Dark Souls 3 is pretty good. I don't know if I would call it goat sauce, though, unfortunately. I need to go up. Wait, that's what Silver said. Whoa. Almost like I should be paying attention to the video game. I don't remember how to go up from here, though. I think I kind of just need to go over here. I don't know. Oh, I thought this was a spring. There we go. I don't think 06 is much of a struggle, to be honest. A lot of things that people don't like about this game are greatly exaggerated. The Elden Ring DLC does have those, like, storm guys. Ugh. I wouldn't say it's the weakest Souls game DLC for me personally. I would give that to probably Arianzel. Just because there are so many cool things introduced in Shadow of the Erdtree that I think were done really, really well. But I definitely understand not liking it. I'm playing as It's No Use. Oops, I pressed the completely wrong button. Skill issue on my part. Maybe that's just way shorter range than I thought it was. Now, Ariandel is cool because it has a couple... I think I hit that way too hard. There's a way to, like, hit that onto these enemies and just win this combat encounter instantly. Ow. But I don't know what the exact height is or whatever. Skishu. Anyway, I think Ariandel has cool ideas and stuff. And, I think that the boss, what is her name? Frida, is almost cool, but that doesn't make up for the extremely boring level design. Yeah, see, that's not an S rank. To get an S rank in that level, you need to kill a lot of the enemies while still going fairly fast. That's a very difficult level to S rank if you're just trying to get to the end. Twitch. To be fair, the Corvian Night Gank can be dissuaded entirely by just going in from the top. Oh, we get the Blaze level. The ball puzzle is one of my favorite things about this game. I love the ball puzzle. I think that's next. I'm not actually sure. Oh, you know, we could have done the spin. The spin is so cool. Oh. There we go. The spin is so cool. I feel like... So, with Sonic's first collection of enemies, it teaches you about enemies being pushed into crates, like explosive crates. It teaches you that enemies can interact with each other and the environment, and that when you're fighting, you shouldn't necessarily exclusively focus on... like homing attacking enemies and nothing else, which is a big part of the game's combat. With Blaze, it's kind of the opposite, where you're just given a few enemies and that's it, and no other way to engage with it. I don't know. I feel like it makes sense as a subversion on Sonic's story, but because we're so far removed from Sonic's first level, it's kind of strange that they used a very similar layout there that teaches a very different lesson that you've probably already ignored entirely anyway. I don't know. Girl time. Oh my god. Won't defend Ivory King? Ivory King is, in my opinion, one of the best DLCs in the Soul series, full stop. I love it. What's the old Iron King? I don't know. Broom Tower is my least favorite, by far, but Blood and Zolin are one of my favorite bosses in the series, full stop. That cat is fine too. I'm gonna pretend I don't understand what that means, and I don't get that reference. But yeah, Shulva is also insanely good. I don't know if I prefer Shulva or Helium Lace, to be honest. Pumpkin King or Ivory King. I wish this level was longer. I wish there was more Blaze in this game. I wish Blaze had her own story instead of Silver. As much as I love Silver. Instead of Shadow. Oh my god. ZS, unfortunately. No excuse to go back and play it again right now, but, you know. Yeah, the Dark Souls 2 DLCs are insanely good. Yeah, oh my god. A Blaze-focused game would be a dream come true. It feels like in Frontiers they were setting up for a Tails and Amy-focused game. But god, I would kill for a Blaze-focused game.
Maybe I'll talk to some people in the town.
While I have engaged infrequently with Allium Lice, I have no opinion on her physical appearance because I haven't seen her. I'm sure she's very pretty though. Yeah, I like the layout of Room Tower. I think the enemy layout is just the weakest of the 3 DLCs. Wait, where am I supposed to go? I don't remember what I'm doing. I should have paid more attention. I want to say I'm going to Dusty Desert, but I don't remember. Yeah, I think Dark Souls 2 is just way better than Dark Souls 3. What are we supposed to do here? Yes. A fine Lord Regis. We were talking about something. I was on the gondola. Where's the gondola? I feel like I should know this. I played Silver Story multiple times. I played Silver Story more than I played Shadows, that's for sure. Gondoliers. I don't know. I feel like Dark Souls 2's enemy layout in general is the best one of the series, and Dark Souls 3's. It's the least fun, but is the most conducive to the style of gameplay that you're supposed to have in Dark Souls 3. So I don't know. I think Elden Ring's is the worst though. Full stop. Elden Ring has terrible enemy layout. Single layered extreme. Hold smash. To throw what you have grabbed in it. Oh right, if you hold the throw button. If you pick up multiple things and then hold the throw button, you can throw everything at once. So instead of like tapping the button over and over, you can just do that. It sometimes doesn't work. Are you talking about the enemy placement in Dark Souls 2 sometimes not working? Because I greatly disagree. I can't think of an instance off the top of my head where it doesn't work well. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 blue so Elden Ring could walk. That's a great way to put it. They brought back power stancing. It's like Dark Souls 2 too. Oh, Iron King DLC? Okay, yeah. I was gonna say. I guess actually the instances where like you can lure the barrel holders into those like big groups of enemies to take out a lot of the smaller enemies for you, or at least chunk the DLC or the health of enemies. Base here? What does that have to do with gondolas? Okay, well. I feel like that was a good idea, but it didn't work very well. Dark Souls 3 teleporting dogs are the best part. Come on. The enemy threw a bomb and I hit it directly back into myself. Crazy how I'm playing Sonic and talking about Dark Souls, and then when I play Dark Souls, I talk about Sonic so often. I think that is pretty funny. Yeah, I think the multiple stories thing worked a lot better here than it did in the original Adventure. Not because it doesn't work in Adventure, but because they ironed out so much of what didn't work super well in Adventure 1. With, like, stories crossing over, or with, I don't know, the stories, like, not working well together. I think the way they intertwine here is a lot better, even with funky time travel shenanigans that don't make sense. I really could not care less about the time travel not making sense, because, like, you know, it's time travel. I don't expect it to. Yeah, the barrel enemy is just, like, slowly walking vaguely away from you sometimes doesn't work super well. I would agree that it feels very clunky. I don't know, I unironically really enjoy this game's story. Like, say what you will about Elise, and I will probably agree. But otherwise, I don't know. I really like the characterization of most of the characters in this game, even if I think other games might have done certain characters better. I kind of think Black Knight did Sonic better, but I think this is the best characterization of Shadow. I think Elise is an awful character with an awful design, but the way that she forwards Sonic's story works well enough, so I don't really care. I don't know.
That was easy.
Do you think someone saw a tech demo of built-in, or like a physics engine on the Xbox 360, and they were like, you know, we could have a Sonic character do that? Whoa. The Twitch bot. How do I ban again? You type ban or slash ban. He banned. I know how to use Twitch now slightly better. Okay, now we should have permission from Lord Regis to... I'm gonna refresh the graphics buffer. There we go. Oh, Amy died. We should have permission from Lord Regis to get into Dusty Desert now. It sure was a choice. I don't know, I wouldn't call it sexual tension. It's like, there's definitely romantic tension that didn't need to be there, but otherwise I think their relationship works fairly well. I don't know, there's a lot they could have done to make at least the story significantly better.
Wait, Iblis Trigger.
I love so much that he uses Iblis Trigger as a slur. The way he says it is so... Iblis Trigger. You know? A kissable name? I don't know that you can kiss a name, but I think that's a compliment, so I appreciate it. Lord Regis and Sonic Racing Crossworlds? True. That would be great. That was a bad idea. I think we just lost. Okay, they respawn. So the gimmick with these is that we can only push them a certain number of times. And because of the physics objects exploding everywhere, they all got pushed a lot more than the limit allowed for, and they all exploded. So if we just wait a second, the easiest way to get through this is unfortunately waiting. You can speed it up a lot by not just waiting. But just waiting will make most of them end up in the holes fairly simply. This is the golf that I was talking about. Like now is a moment where I wouldn't want to wait, where I can run up to it and push it. They all share a hit count, right? So you can only hit them all the same number of times. Push that one away. We're gonna get this one to go in, so I can push this one in too. Oh, come on. There we go. And that many hits should be plenty to get this one to go in. There we go. I don't even need to. I think that is... It introduces the concept, but does not explain it or use it in a very interesting way, as opposed to where we see that used later, where I think it's actually pretty fun. That was silly. I think I was supposed to use the jars to break the statue here so I could use it as a platform, but...
There should be a switch somewhere.
I don't know, I think the romance part doesn't even, like, matter from a, like, weird ethics or morality standpoint, because, like, it would be strange if there were these sentient characters that were treated as significantly lesser or different from humans. I just don't think that's something that they needed to tackle in a Sonic game. And people being weirded out by it. Like, as strange as I think it is to be weirded out by romance between two sentient creatures in a game that is specifically focused on the story and personality of those sentient creatures, I think it is also very strange that they put that in a Sonic game, if that makes sense. I don't know. Patricia Taxon has a whole video essay that explains everything I'm thinking to a much better degree. Amy is a very strange character. Because she's slow like Silver, so she fits in Silver's story. But her thing is stealth. Like, she can go invisible. And she can double jump. And that's like it. I don't know why she can go invisible. I don't know what the deal with this brand new ability is. She also has her hammer. I think you can spin with your hammer, right? I don't know. There's some ability you can do for combat that isn't just swinging your hammer, I'm pretty sure.
While jumping, pressing the A button again will allow you to perform a double jump.
Also, one thing that I really don't like about Project 06 is how they changed Amy. Not because I think it's unfun. I think Amy's movement is super fun in Project 06. I don't think it works with the level design at all. And they just used effectively exactly the same level design. There were changes. Like, there are instances where combat is a lot more the focus instead of the stealth. But because of how they did it, like the double jump tutorial just doesn't matter. She's way faster, so you just don't need to double jump, right? I think it's really dumb. This use of stealth I think is really cool. That introduces how you can use the stealth to your advantage in terms of combat, and also focuses on using your environment for combat in ways that other characters can't. Like Silver can to a degree, right? Because he uses the boxes for combat. But the way he uses it is significantly different. I don't know. I think Amy was used in an interesting way, but I understand why people don't like it because she is extremely slow and her combat does kind of suck. Even if it could have been used in significantly more interesting ways. I think romance can be a very good way to explore the dynamics between characters, and explore a lot of things in a lot of ways that you wouldn't be able to otherwise. I don't think romance is a detriment on storytelling in any way. I just think that in this context, it was very strange to have romance because of the fact that they're animal characters. And while Sonic is a good series to tackle that, the fact that, or is a good context to tackle that, rather, in terms of like seeing some people as lesser, I think that's an angle that they could go with, because Sonic is so focused on like a child audience. It definitely makes sense that people were very weirded out by it. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. Demon Souls doesn't have runbacks, it has levels. Bosses are just part of the level. They're not like their own thing. I don't know. I feel like saying Demon Souls has long runbacks is very strange, considering the focus of the game is on the levels themselves. Am I just supposed to jump across these? Oh, these go up, okay. Puzzle solving, kind of. Almost. These blue things, if you didn't catch it earlier, that you continue playing, they refill your energy meter. Shadow has them to refill his like chaos burst thingy, but otherwise Shadow uses them most. Oh hey, cursor on screen. I hope that wasn't there for too long, actually. I can't wait to get the upgrade that makes combat a lot less tedious. Yeah, that is like, I think that's an interesting concept for Sonic to attempt to tackle. It's just something that needs to be taken with a lot of like care and setup, and a lot more than just like putting it in the middle of a game without focusing on it, which isn't, I don't think that's what they were going for with the Elise story either, is the thing. Because it wasn't like the intent, it also came off as a lot weirder. What the? Handle it in a tasteful manner that is specifically able to adapt the story in a way that would work well with children who don't understand that concept very well. Especially in a way that doesn't involve romance, which, I don't know, I don't think the removal of romance is necessarily a requirement in that way. I just think that because of the focus of the franchise on children, either they would have to have a more mature thing, which probably wouldn't go over well with purity culture being so common, or they would, you know, have to tackle that in a completely different way. But it is absolutely an interesting story beat that they could do something with. Yeah, like, I understand why people dislike this. I think this is super fun and perfectly shows off what Silver is capable of in a lot of ways, and the fact that they didn't do anything else like this is kind of a shame, because I think this is a really interesting way to use Silver's abilities with like precision and intention, rather than just holding the telekinesis button and spamming the throw button. Come on. Hey! No? Come on. There we go. Purity culture should be exploded, true. Purity culture is like one of the worst things ever. Easy S rank too. Probably because I played that level a lot. Alright. So that's all my favorite levels in the Silver Story. I think the rest of the levels are still good. Like Kingdom Valley is a good level. Aquatic Base is a really good level. But those are my favorites by far, the first three.
You're here to talk.
I forgot we fight the other two Hedgehogs of Silver. I don't know why. I didn't think of this. Ow. That hurt. Ow. Maybe I just need to, like, wait for the homing attack. Oh, no, you don't. Truly, the combat of all time. Need to refresh the graphics buffer. Oh my god. How do you avoid that? There we go. It's a very funny fight.
Looks like I'm on a roll.
I think if I had gotten the rings, that would have been an S rank, but... Yeah, true, the movies would be a great place to explore that topic, I agree. Silver the Hedgehog. I know I'm not showing off the story here very much. I think the story, like I said, is really good. If you don't know the story from external context, oh my goodness, that'll have much more of a focus in my actual video on this game. But if you want to see me talk about it, there's the thing that lets us shock enemies near us and stun them all instead of one at a time. Really silly. I don't know. If you haven't... Also, wait. What was it? What was I supposed to do? Eggman's base? I think if you don't know the story of this game, what we've been talking about is probably very confusing and or strange. But if you do, hopefully you do, because it's infamous. But, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people also just don't really talk about it in good faith either. In terms of like how the story tackles its different topics. I don't know. I feel like any retelling of the story you've heard is probably not in good faith, unless it's one of those like rewriting Sonic 06's story kind of things or whatever. Blaze. I didn't remember this level actually. I kind of completely forgot that Silver has a White Acropolis level. Oops. Oh, if you double tap the homing attack button, you get the spin in midair. That's very strange. Especially because it ends almost instantly. It very much feels like you're supposed to use those for platforming, but because they break if you homing attack the enemy on top of it... Oh my goodness. They break if you homing attack the enemy on top of it. It doesn't really work. Okay. Pardon me. I don't know, there is one in Sonic's story, like right at the end of the level. I think I showed it off as my favorite route through Sonic's White Acropolis last stream. There is one that is very easy to stand on, but most of them do kind of break if you try to land on top of them. There are other ones that are very explicitly like meant to be used for platforming, but there are none of them that are like as useful, because most of the routes that you can take with those platforms, the ones that break, can be taken significantly easier via other platforms that don't break extremely easily. Eggman steals Sonic's girlfriend, something like that. That's like basically it. Forgot that Silver goes through this section of the level. Normally this is like the side character section because the side characters have more movement than Silver, or than the main character rather, but... I should... Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. Everything's fine. Wait for my meter to come back up. Okay. Breaking these is a lot... I was hoping to throw that farther. I guess not. Breaking those feels a lot better in this story than it does in any other story. Like with Tails, you can just fly over it and break it. With Rouge, you have to like specifically stop and throw bombs. And there's not really any point to breaking them in other stories, but it's so like easy and quick here that not doing it feels like you're just kind of nerfing yourself. Where's the platform? There it is. For those, telekinesis spots, you can just tap RT. You don't actually have to hold on them. Like you just tap and then it'll come up, and you don't have to hold there the whole time. So you can just ignore the enemies around them, which is very nice. Oop. I don't know. I think like Black Knight has the strongest themes in any Sonic story. Like it focuses on mortality and your place within it and how you can cope with the idea of mortality, and how Sonic copes with the idea of mortality and understands his place in life despite that. It's not like you know, other Sonic games don't tackle it, and it's not like all of them are received poorly. It's just the ones that are, I don't know, the ones that are considered lesser games, like Sonic 06. You know, people hate this story because they hate the game, not vice versa, I think, a lot of the time. I'm not gonna, like, say that's true of everyone who dislikes this game's story, but it would not surprise me. This actually, Silver's version of this level has the exact same ending as Sonic's version of this level. So, instead of jumping off the platform that we used in Sonic's story, we can just take one of these. Oh, wait, hold on. Points. We can take one of these rocks and do that, which I love a lot. Yeah, Forces definitely bounces back and forth way too much between how serious it is and how not serious it is. It's not just a boulder, a rock. Like going from Sonic has been tortured for 2 years to you cannot defeat me.
Looks like we've arrived a little
Very
too
much
late.
difficult to take that game seriously.
A guard, huh? Just try and stop.
I think the way you do this fight is a little bit different than how Sonic does this fight. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Egg Genesis.
His armor looks thick, but you might be able to destroy those glowing parts.
Basically any game that focuses a lot on Shadow has a lot of weird military stuff. Though, oh my goodness, SA2 has a lot more weird military stuff just because, like, the first game that had any of it, so I had to set up the whole premise. Do I have to wait for it to come down? I don't think so. Yeah, that's a much quicker way. Oh, right. Throwing enemies is weird because if you pick up more than one at a time, Silver will throw the enemy that you're holding at the other enemy that you're holding. I kind of forgot about that. There we go. But, I don't know. Shadow is... Sonic Adventure 2 and Shadow are both more about Shadow's story than anything. But they do have those kinds of themes, I suppose. Okay. Where do you even start with Sonic? Like, playing them? It kind of depends. If you, like, know nothing about Sonic... My goodness. I feel like there are a lot of different places you could start. Frontiers has a lot of references, but it also uses those references, like, catch people up who haven't, like, played the games before. So, I don't know. Frontiers would probably be a good place to start. If you want more, like, to understand the gameplay of Sonic, Unleashed isn't a bad place to start. Generations isn't a bad place to start either. Hello? Camera? I feel like there are a lot of places you could pretty easily and fairly start with Sonic games. Just pick the one that looks most fun, honestly. Okay, I think I need to be... Oh, never mind. They home anyway. How do you avoid that? Do I have the teleport dash thingy? No. The missiles feel most effective, but also the hardest to use because you always get stunned out of grabbing them. Oh my goodness. Okay. Go. What? It's still aiming? I don't know. If you don't like platformers, you're probably not going to like Sonic then. Sonic is a platformer, first and foremost. You could try Sonic Chronicles. It's a tactical RPG. I think. Sonic Battle. I don't know. They're Sonic RPGs. There we go. It really did wait for me to stop dashing.
Silver, watch.
I'm sure there's a way to avoid it. I just don't know what it is. Ah. Okay, we're fine.
That took too long.
I don't know. If you want to engage with Sonic for like the stories and characters, Black Knight is my favorite portrayal of Sonic, and is also a fairly distilled like exploration of his character. I don't know. Sonic Adventure sets him up pretty well for modern Sonic, at least. Wait, we have to do a combat thing as Amy? Interesting. Interesting choice. Silver, almost the same name. Unless you pronounce it Kilver. Are there other attacks I can do? I swear to God, there's like a way to swing your hammer in a circle. Is that just a, That might actually be a project thing and not a original O6 thing. God, you have no idea. I hate Unleashed. I hate Unleashed so much. The level design is so terrible. Unleashed is one of my least favorite modern Sonic games. If not straight up my least favorite. It's so... the daytime stages are so not fun to me. I wish I liked them, but I just don't. Sonic Unleashed is really good, the daytime stages, but Unleashed is just not, in my opinion. How do you even see me? What? Extremely fast-paced combat, true. Yeah, the Sky Chase in Sonic 06 is also probably the worst iteration of Sky Chase. But, I don't know, I don't mind the Hedgehog stages, they're just way too long. I like the break in the fast-paced platforming levels to go to like the slower-paced exploration-focused levels. But it's the daytime stages that kill Unleashed for me. Which is why I like Unleashed so much more. And also the length of the nighttime stages is also remedied by the fact that they're split into a bunch of different stages. What did Amy say? Was I not paying attention? Where do I go? Go to the store? Okay. Capitalism. Could have been Smee. True. I should have tried harder. My bad. I really like engaging with a bunch of different genres. There are a ton of different genres that I've engaged with over the years and ended up liking a lot more than I thought I would. Like... Oh wait, what? Oh, Heart of Winds. This is like the dash thing. It's not good. But it can be useful to get out of enemies' ways really quickly, and that's kind of its only use. Like, I didn't think I would like, for instance, Metal Gear, and I ended up playing Metal Gear Solid 3 because I had a partner who, well, half a partner, it's not like we broke up. I have a partner who really loves Metal Gear. I was playing it with her watching, and really ended up enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would, despite the genre. Oh yeah, we have a stealth section. We can't get caught by the guards. Forgot about this. Can I just run in now? Cool. Stealth. Wow, like Metal Gear. Topical.
Perfect.
Extremely difficult stealth section.
I'm not going to let the Iblis trigger get away.
Oh right, Silver hasn't figured out that Sonic isn't the bad guy yet. I forgot. Wow, whoa, what? Puzzle elements? That's crazy. Ugh, Silver. I need to stop doing so good in the Silver levels, I guess. Can't get an S rank. It's not funny.
This conveyor belt changes direction.
Thanks, Silver. It's kind of too slow to matter, though. It's the fastest you'll ever see Silver move.
If I put weights on this scale, I'll be able to move forward.
Wait, it isn't affected by Silver's weight. That's very strange. Is this the only one like that? I wonder if you could also ignore that entirely by carrying a box onto the other side and just hovering over like that. Okay, yeah, you can ignore it completely. Yeah, I apologize for obliterating your comedic integrity. Whoa! I chickened out. I got scared. I'm sorry. Okay. I need a Sonic 06 remake. I know it'll be worse. I know it'll be worse than the actual game. At least for my preferences and what I like in Sonic games. But, like, I need a Sonic 06 remake. I want to see what the original vision was for it, you know? I would love a lot of Sonic remakes, actually. Sonic Heroes remake? I would kill. Kill for a Sonic Heroes remake. Or even like a remaster, to be honest.
There's no other way ahead. I guess I've got to break down the
Oh,
door.
I have to do it again. To actually stun it. I don't know, they wouldn't ruin it. It'd be like if they remade Dark Souls 2, right? It would still probably be a good game. But it wouldn't be... Oh my goodness. It wouldn't be Dark Souls 2 anymore. I don't know, unless Bluepoint did it, I guess. But they would also probably make a lot of the similar decisions that they made with Demon Souls that made it end up not being a super great remake. So, I don't know.
Telekinesis and throw them.
Bonk. I'm at. I think Silver has the most interesting combat, even if he's not, you know, as fast at it as Sonic is or whatever. Silver has very fun combat. Because of how much more he interacts with the environment than other characters. And Fire Emblem is ass. There are a lot of people who very much disagree with you.
I can't grab lasers with my psychokinesis. It looks like
You can't grab lasers. Okay, good to know, Silver. Thanks. I never would have guessed that. That's crazy. I don't know. As someone who doesn't particularly like tactical RPGs in general, I don't have too much of an opinion on Fire Emblem in general, let alone specifically modern Fire Emblem as opposed to classic. I don't think I actually need to kill this guy for any reason. Okay. I did play Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which was way more fun than I expected it to be. But I also didn't play that for too long. Silver can't grind? Interesting. Is it 3 houses? Is 3 houses your most dated? Yeah. Persona, I've always wanted to play Persona 5, especially since I got into Smash Ultimate as it came out. Or rather, I got into the Smash series as Ultimate came out. And I always wanted to play Persona 5 because of that. And then by the time I was actually able to play Persona 5, that I like owned a PlayStation and had like the actual ability to play the game, I didn't care about it anymore. And then it came out on Switch, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess they didn't care about the timing of the release. Awakening? I don't know anything about any Fire Emblem games. I just know that I've heard a lot of people like 3 houses. I was talking about something and I genuinely do not remember what it was. ADHD, what?
That was easy.
Bilver. You gotta use the bee emoji. Does YouTube have that emoji? I don't know how YouTube chat works.
I won't hold.
Okay. I assume this fight is similar to the Sonic fight, right? Yes. Extremely. Bilver. I'm glad you took my suggestion into account. Where did he go? What? Oh, he's attempting to get to me. Okay. As long as the barrels don't smack into each other, this should be fairly quick. Shovels. Wait, why is he red? Ah. I'm scared and I don't know if I should be. Is he even taking damage? Ow. Do I just have to wait out the red? Oh no, he's taking damage, okay. Ow. Almost there. Oh, I should probably refresh the graphics buffer. What? Where is he? Ah! No. Yeah, that's fine. That's surprising. That's for Shadow, I guess. I feel like linear progression works a lot better on a lot of RPGs, right? That would be my assumption, at least. I don't know. As someone who doesn't play RPGs, though. There are some RPGs that I played that are like Ni no Kuni 2, right? Starts as a very fairly linear game. I wouldn't say it's perfectly linear, but it's like Ni no Kuni 2 is very much linear as opposed to an open world game. But like once you get to the point where you have like the what do you call it? The city or whatever that you have to manage and whatever. I immediately stopped playing the game. I just could not get behind the like open progression from there because it changes so dramatically. Am I going the wrong way? I loved the first like 10 hours of Ni no Kuni 2, and then it just got so much worse. Once I got to that point, and I just could not continue, unfortunately. I really love the combat and characters and story and everything in that game, but I just... movie was good, though. Never played Wrath of the White Witch. I tried, but I don't know. The dramatic shift in ARPG to effectively turn-based RPG combat was too much for me. That's fast. Very, very short shadow section. What? Okay. You're watching the movies while I'm streaming. Unfortunately, you did miss the Shadow story. We are now in Silver story, but hopefully Silver story is a close second. I don't know, the combat was pretty basic, but I liked it for Ni no Kuni 2. I wonder if I could land the box here. Yeah! And just completely skip everything else. Uh-oh. Okay, that's fine. Yakuza and Silent Hill. Yakuza is one that I tried to get into, but I just cannot do beat 'em up. Or, not beat 'em up. Is it a beat 'em up? I don't know if that's what you would call it. I can't get into the style of game that it is. I tried so hard. I played it for like... I played Yakuza 0 for a little bit. Specifically because of the karaoke minigame, because a friend of mine was playing that and was not good at it. And I thought it would be funny to buy the game just because it was like $5 at the time, specifically to get or I don't know, it went on sale for really cheap. I don't remember if it was exactly $5. But I thought it'd be funny to buy the game and just get a better score in the karaoke. And I tried to play more of the game, but I just couldn't get behind it. Also, that section you play as Shadow in Shadow Story, and it is significantly better in Silver Story because you play as Silver there. It's right after the Silver section, and they could have just extended the Silver section slightly. I think that would have worked a lot better. I don't know, I guess it makes sense that they want you to play as Shadow in Shadow Story, but that specific section didn't work very well as Shadow, in my opinion. Yeah, I didn't play much of Yakuza 0, but it's also just like the style of game that I don't particularly enjoy personally. Where do I go? This way? This way. It's so weird that Aquatic Base is Sonic's final level, and it's like halfway through Shadow and Silver stories. Oh, no! And they do it together, too. I think I'm just dead here. Unfortunate. Okay, I should be slower and more careful. You know, this is such a minor thing, and I don't know if this makes sense, but I feel like this iteration of this gimmick in both Silver's and Sonic's story is kind of evocative of how you play the two stories, in that Sonic's is a lot more speed-based, but there are way more lasers, and you need to be a lot more methodical to safely get through that in Silver's story. I don't know, it's such like a minor difference, but it's something that I have noticed. Wait, you can do that in midair this whole time? That's so much faster. Oh my goodness.
Those enemies look like they're guarding that door.
Yeah, I'm very much not into hack and slashes, especially, which is weird because I love Dark Souls, but I think that's why I don't like hack and slashes. I got too much into Dark Souls, and now I have a hard time playing any game that uses similar mechanics, but to a... I don't know, but uses them in a way that normal beat-em-ups would, as opposed to Souls-likes, you know? Just because you have to be so much more careful in Souls-likes as opposed to beat 'em ups. Why are you up there? Can I jump on these? No, not really. Come down. Oh, I can throw other stuff at it. What am I doing? Yeah. I find combos extremely unfun to execute. I don't know. That's probably why I don't like a lot of hack and slash games, because a lot of them do focus on beat 'em ups, because a lot of them do focus on comboing. Extremely normal about Fire Emblem, just like I'm extremely normal about Dark Souls. We love girls being normal about video games here. Yeah, but number go up isn't enough for me a lot of the time. I don't know, it's also just because I don't enjoy executing the combos themselves, but number go up isn't enough for me to start enjoying that, I guess. Okay. Oh, another one of these. I forgot there was another silver ball. I think you can actually jump off of it in this part. And that's like encouraged to deal with the enemies, but you can also just... Well, you have to kill the enemies. Okay, never mind. I wonder if you can get through it without the silver ball completely. That wouldn't be surprising, I don't think. You can jump up here. I wonder... It's like you can land on these pillars. This is probably a safer spot to stand. Yeah, reuse of the same levels in the stories I think is done really well. Like, obviously they didn't have a lot of time for this game, and because of that they had to reuse a lot of things, and I think the way that they reused the things was, I don't know, done in a way that made replaying the levels not feel bad a lot of the time. There are instances, like the beginning of Shadow's Crisis City or whatever, where it doesn't feel super great to replay the levels. But there are also instances, like here, where I'm going through Knuckles' section in Sonic Story, where it feels really interesting and fun to go through this part of the level because it's just used in a completely different way. I might not be able to make that. Is there like a crate I can use? Probably not. Okay. Oh no, easy. Okay. Also very normal about Dark Souls. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I should drink more water. I really love that you can use these to obliterate a lot of the enemies. I'm gonna refresh the graphics buffer just in case, so we don't get seizure material. Oh my goodness. I don't know, it feels really good, and it's only a small moment of combat that you get to skip, so it's not like it's trivializing the level design or anything. It just feels good to skip feel like you're skipping a combat encounter. Ow. Yeah, reusing the levels exclusively for the soundtrack of the levels. True. I wouldn't have complained only because of that as well. There we go.
Looks like I'm on a roll.
I'm gonna let this cutscene play because I need to go to the bathroom. I will be right back.
Hey, what are you doing? You've got to leave.
I have my duty. This living living flame has been entrusted to the royal family. The flames of disaster will awaken if nothing is done. That must not happen. Eternal Sun. The living flame that has been entrusted to the royal family. Fall into slumber with a royal soul.
Okay, we're back.
Sorry, but can you take her to a
Naruto got in? I know nothing about Naruto. I
I'm going to stop Dr. Eggman no matter what.
I had no idea. I assume I have to do this. Yeah. This feels like a story mission. He knows the secrets. What the? Wait, what? Why are you over there? Okay. Oh, you mean with Elise having Diblis trapped inside of her or whatever? That's why she can't cry. Oh my goodness. I feel like I should kill this guy. Okay. There we go. What the? Aw, you can't pick up the tables and chairs for combat. That's disappointing. I was getting ready to throw all of them immediately. Beat 'em up gameplay. I didn't have any rings. I'm so sad. Okay, but the difference between this and a beat 'em up is just as fun. I don't think this is technically beat 'em up gameplay because you don't have... You're not, like, doing combos or using a bunch of different moves that achieve the same thing. You're using a bunch of different attacks that all have different uses and achieve completely different things. It's more like a puzzle disguised as a beat 'em up than a beat 'em up. Hey. I should be more careful about having rings this time. Wait, what? Camera. Puzzle them up. Something like that. I was not expecting it different, but... Oh, there are more enemies. You know, the minimap, I feel like most of the time is kind of useless, especially when you're just exploring Soliana or whatever. But in missions where you need to kill enemies, it's nice to have at least, if not particularly useful. Ow. Is that all the enemies? Do I need to wait for the... Why are they all here? Oh my goodness. I love that animation. Okay, but like having the same premise doesn't put it in the same genre. Genres are so individual definition specific and so imprecise that calling this a beat 'em up feels disingenuous at best.
Perfect.
Okay, Kingdom Valley next, I think. We don't have that many levels left, I don't think. I'm debating whether or not I want to try to finish the game today, because if we do get to the end of Silver Story, the final story is like half an hour. I don't know. I could save it for its own stream, but I don't think that would be very long. I could, actually, next stream finish this game, and then play Project 06 a little bit. I don't know if my computer would be able to handle streaming Project 06, though. I don't know. I'm sure it would. I have a beefy machine. I have an Elgato. I wonder if I could feed my desktop video into my laptop with the Elgato and stream from my laptop and do the two-computer stream setup so that I don't have to worry about not having enough computer power. Okay. Oh my god, that's a lot of dots. You know, I feel like I feel like spamming you with enemies was kind of the only thing they could do for these more basic units to pose a threat whatsoever, because you can just do that and suddenly they're all dead. Which, for the most part, in actual levels, they do a pretty good job of varying enemies and stuff so that you have to engage with the combat instead of just spamming the shock move. But there are also a lot of instances where you can very easily spam the shock move as well. Oh my goodness. I rant about Dark Souls in Sonic streams and rant about Sonic and Dark Souls streams all the time, don't worry. That's almost an S. I just needed a couple more rings.
Like I'm on a roll.
The only rank we haven't gotten in Silver Story is D. So we don't have a Dilver yet. It's unfortunate. Trial of Memory. Oh, right, this one. I wonder if it's the same layout? Oh. Comes to mind with the words Future, Inferno, and Ruin City. What? Escape. Okay. Maybe. What? This is such a strange mission. It feels like a trivia quiz, but specifically for silver? Okay, so it's... I have to actually talk to him first? Very strange. Okay. What comes with blue hedgehog? Hatred go right, for teamwork go left. I don't remember what part of the story we're at. God damn it. Okay, right, right, left. Extremely engaging mission. I feel like I messed up these questions a lot more in my first playthrough of this game. Okay. What? That's not an S? How do you get an S?
Looks like I'm on a roll.
What? And, huh? Yeah, that one's really bad on the actual console. Just because the loading time is awful. Hey. I feel like they should have had different voices. Destroy all enemies without any objects. Okay. Definitely nothing to use psychokinesis on. Ow. Oh my god, that's so many missiles. I tried to grab, but I couldn't press the grab button fast enough. Okay. I think the hay is very funny. I don't think that's what they were going for. But, you know, I feel like that lands back on the topic of enjoying the game despite its flaws. Like, I think the game is fun despite it very clearly having a lot of flaws, and just for that, I also really like the hay. Oh. I pick these up and hope I don't get hit. Oh my god. I almost got obliterated. Ah. That's fine. Probably. I don't know, an S rank would be cool. I actually don't care that much, but... Okay. Extremely difficult combat encounter. A Dilver someday. Me too. Pretty easy S rank, at least. Alright, Kingdom Valley time. I'm doing a lot better in Silver Story than I was in Shadows, at least. Blaze Harem. I think one thing that I do genuinely really like about the stories in this game is when you play as characters in other people's or in the other stories. Like if you play a Sonic in Silver Story, you get Sonic's upgrades that you had in Sonic Story, and vice versa. I think that's really cool, actually. You can, you know, do that and do the whole psychokinesis thing, or you can also walk along this ledge extremely easily. Blare 'em. Indeed. I do not remember this level very well at all. This is probably my least played Silver level. Either this or whatever the last one of the... whatever... What are the last levels? We haven't done Wave Ocean. No, we did Wave Ocean as Blaze, right? I don't think Silver goes to Wave Ocean on his own. Is this the... I don't think this is the last Silver mission. I don't remember what the other missions are. is a really, I think this is a really fun use of the physics in this game. Being able to swing a pendulum around to smash into a building. Ow. Silver and Blairum are my favorite Sonic characters too. I agree. Okay, in my first playthrough of this game, I would always get really excited when I saw one of those explosive boxes because they're very fun to throw into enemies. They were also by far the most effective combat strategy I had in my first playthrough because I didn't realize how effective that stunning was at the time. Still very fun to use them. Is this Blaze's section from Shadow Story? I think it's the same section that Blaze is in, or not Blaze, Rouge. Okay. Oh yeah, I think it is, because this... I think? It might not be. I don't remember. Remembering things is difficult. Ow. Rich bumped indeed. Oh my god, come on. I thought I threw the button, but I thought I was trying to hold it when I wasn't. So I got hit. I guess I was holding it when I didn't mean to. There we go. That was scary. What? I got locked into an animation, but I don't even know what the animation was. Interesting. Honestly, I think for Shadow specifically, Kingdom Valley works really well as like a level to reference Sonic Generations, or to reference in Sonic Generations rather. But I hate that they use Crisis City for the original Sonic Generations. I vastly would have preferred pretty much any other level, like especially Wave Ocean. Yeah, and I think Kingdom Valley is a good song in Generations, but it's so much better here for sure. I agree. I really wish for Sonic Story they would have used Wave Ocean. Like, I feel like... I mean, I guess because it specifically wanted to be Sonic 06, and not just like... They already did the Ocean thing with Sonic Heroes. I don't know. I just like Wave Ocean more. Another Twitch chat, woof. I don't dislike Crisis City, but it's one of my least favorite levels in Sonic Story. I think that Flame Core is significantly worse, but Wave Ocean is just so much better than Crisis City. Woofing in the Twitch chat and meowing in the YouTube chat. Love to see it. I wish there were more physics interactions like that were used for puzzles, because there are physics interactions used for puzzles like that, but none of them get too complex, unfortunately. Oh my goodness. Wait, how do I get up? Yeah, I think Aquatic Base also would have been better than Crisis City. Crisis City does evoke Sonic 06 very well. I think Wave Ocean evokes Sonic 06 much more. I just don't like the vibe of Crisis City nearly as much as Wave Ocean. Kingdom Valley would have also worked for Sonic Generations. I would have preferred... oh my god, Kingdom Valley for Sonic Generations. But once Shadow Generations came out, I was happy to have Kingdom Valley for Shadow Generations instead. An unbridgeable gap between chats, indeed. I'm glad that Twitch chat is actually showing up on the stream this time, though. I'm not sure why it wasn't last time, because I didn't change anything. I literally just opened the app that I use, and it was working this time, so... I don't know.
That container might help me move forward.
Thanks, Silver. I'm going to open this and get the one up. People aren't scabs like last time. Either way is interaction for me, so... Does Switch have like a like feature? I know it has like following or whatever. I don't know. If you're watching on YouTube, you should like the stream if you're enjoying it. It helps a lot. It doesn't. Huh. Oh my goodness. Any algorithm things help a lot on YouTube, as much as it might not seem like they do. Watching is absolutely the most helpful thing when it comes to the algorithm on YouTube, at least. I really have no idea how Twitch algorithm works, but anything you can interact with on this stream is helpful to the algorithm. If you're enjoying this and want more people who have similar tastes as you to see the stream, it would be very helpful. I don't know. I don't like doing the YouTube thing very much, but it does genuinely help. Copied the share link. I forgot that that helps. I know it's one of the things you can interact with, so it makes sense that it does, but I forgot that was even a thing. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. I think we get either a Sonic or a Shadow section. I don't remember. Not yet, but I think we get a Sonic section at some point through this stage. Oh, there it is. I was right. I'm pretty sure this is just ripped straight from Sonic's Kingdom Valley. If not, it's extremely similar. Yeah, even these enemies I'm pretty sure are laid out in exactly the same way, so... Whoa, Sonic Hedgehog. Getting an S in Silver's levels is probably the hardest, only because they're so insanely long. Like, Shadows are also long, but Silver's are longer and require a lot more attention with, like, how you play to get good ranks. Oh my god, help! I think I did a light speed dash in the circle, and it didn't realize that the rings were gone. That was scary. Yeah, no Dilvers. Not getting a D rank isn't too bad, but you also need to, like, not die to get S ranks most of the time. And not dying for, you know, extended periods can be difficult. If not difficult, at least, like, you know, kind of draining to do for that long. It just requires a lot more consistency than the other stories. Okay. I'm pretty sure you can just float around the other way. Oh my goodness, wait a second. This is intended. There's a silver medal up here. Silver. That's the character I'm playing as. Does this break? It does. I assume that's a platform that I'm supposed to land on at this point. Yeah. Then I grab missiles and throw them at the next platform, presumably. Yeah. Metal. It's metal indeed. Oh. Go away. Uh, okay. I don't have telekinesis energy right now. That was scary. Almost killed myself. I would like the S rank. As much as finishing the story is more important, the S rank is cool to have. I think this is the end of his level once we kill these enemies. Ow. No. Oh, come on. There's a lot of points from rings. And that should spawn the gold ring? Yeah. Hey, S rank! For one of the longest levels in the game. Okay. Oh, Flame Core! I forgot about Flame Core. This is Shadow. This is Silver's final level. Here. What? Silver? Yeah, he's called Silver because he's green. That checks out. Oh, he looks kind of red. No, he is green. I mean, it's just the lighting that's making him look kind of red. As much as I think that Flame Core is Sonic's worst level, it's a lot better as Silver, I feel like. Just because the combat for Silver feels a lot better in my opinion. On top of the level being slow, so a lot of the things that I don't like about it in Sonic Story aren't so forefront. Oh my goodness, why did that one just explode? Wait, what? Was there another one? What? Where? Oh. It's probably because of him. Oh my goodness. I didn't know they could turn. Oh, I thought I was close enough. I guess I wasn't. Okay. I think the issue with that feeling inconsistent is literally just that it's extremely short range. Extremely short range. Okay. Good to know. I need to kill these guys? No, I do not. I don't know. I have less to say about Silver's levels, because the level design, while it does come into play with how objects are placed and how you engage with combat because of that, it feels a lot less dramatic than with Sonic's levels. Hello? It's because the way Sonic engages with the level design is a lot more... Oh, did I need to go fast to get up there? Interesting. Sonic's movement is a lot more reliant on the level design, right? But Silver can fly and bypass a lot of the level design, so... I really appreciate that. I don't know. I probably won't be streaming a ton on this channel. As much as I love Sonic games, I don't know, I love making content on Sonic games. It doesn't feel like something I could stream consistently, just because, I don't know, I could get into the rhythm of it, but for now, I'm mostly just going to be streaming on my main channel still, which, speaking of, tomorrow is the Stone Greatsword, I believe. It won by like 4% on the vote, so I'm looking forward to that one. World of Warcraft, unfortunately, I don't think I would enjoy that game very much. Nor do I think I have the money for that. I tried to get into old school RuneScape, which I did not do, primarily because all of the skills I thought would be fun to train were paid skills. Which I guess is kind of the point, but like, I wanted to do fletching, I wanted to do agility. Every time I go back to OSRS, it's like, oh, I want to do this skill looks actually fun to train. And like it would make other skills easier to train too, and whatever. And then I boot up the game, then I have to pay to do that specific skill. It's like, oh, okay, never mind, I guess. Animal Crossing. Bring back Animal Crossing Thursdays. Quell Anthony's quench for Animal Crossing Thursday. I always like wanted to be a streamer as a kid. Now that I've like am actually streaming and get money from it, I prefer making videos so much more. I love streaming primarily because of the interactions with people. And this is one of my favorite things to do as part of my job. But it's also like making the videos feels so much more artistically fulfilling to me. No, it doesn't suck. It's fun and cool and awesome. But also for something else now. Which Animal Crossing is my favorite? New Horizons, just because what I prefer in Animal Crossing is the customizability and openness rather than the management, which I think New Leaf excels at a lot more. I did really love New Leaf, but no, please. Oh, I pressed the jump button and it didn't work. As much as I did really enjoy New Leaf, I just kind of prefer New Horizons. That's so far back. That's so unfortunate. Well, I'm not getting the S rank anymore, so I don't need to worry about that at least. Go, go, go. I feel like this is actually the most interesting silver level. Just because of like how you have to engage with the actual level design to navigate. Like I have to do the kinesis thing and then like actually go fast from there to make use of that, as opposed to other levels where you just kind of wait there until a door opens or whatever. Dilver, potential Dilver moment. I don't know. It's not that I dislike the lack of control that it gives you. It's just that the customization that New Horizons offers is more satisfying to me. Like being able to shape an island to be exactly what I want it to be, and being happy with that feels so much more artistically satisfying than being able to place a couple houses in different spots. I don't know. Like, I get it. I absolutely get why you would prefer the older titles. It's just not my personal cup of tea. The head was so, like, trying to be intimidating, but very clearly not at all intimidating. I think that is very funny. Alright. Let's do what Silver says, I guess. Oh my god. Give up. Oh. Like, give up as in you're taking a break, or give up as in giving up completely? Ah. Wait, what? There were more enemies behind? Wait, that swarm didn't die. I thought it did.
I guess that's done.
I would give up in Chapter 1 in Fire Emblem, I think. I'm gonna refresh the graphics buffer just in case. I'm gonna be careful here. Like, actually kill the enemies and stuff as I go. Ah! That was horrifying. My whole life flashed before my eyes. Okay.
You're not gonna get in my way, Iblis.
Ah! Yeah. Having a special interest with something semi-divisive is is unfortunate, but you also have to kind of come to it understanding that not everyone's gonna like it. That's how I am with Souls games. Like, I adore the Souls games. Oh. But I definitely understand why people wouldn't like it. And I'm just gonna come to terms with it. Oh my goodness. Kind of surprised that I'm not dead right now, to be honest. Platform. Right here. This spring, maybe? Okay. I don't like not having any rings. Okay. Rings achieved. I hate if you're just like slightly off the ground and then tap the button to do the slam. It doesn't, it like potentially might not actually do the slam until after you hit the ground, which will just make you sit there and charge up a throw despite not having anything in your hand. Oh my god. I don't think I've ever gotten through that bridge in Silver Story without getting hit at least once. Okay. I really hope this level isn't as long as I think it is. It's based on how it's looking. We're gonna have to go through the entirety of Sonic's section in this part of Flame Core. I need to refresh the graphics buffer. And that means that this level will be like over 10 minutes long.
What is that thing?
I don't know. Like I said, this level feels better as Silver, but because I don't like it as Sonic, it just doesn't feel good to be playing here. Especially after the insanely long Kingdom Valley. This is very potentially a Dilver moment, for sure. We'll see what happens with like the time bonus and everything, though. It could be another Silver, but with a C. But that was scary. Oh wait, I can just do that. Yeah, so dark that I might have to hit the lights to actually progress in the level instead of just jumping over the platforms instead that I can very clearly see. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my goodness. How do I hit these? Do I just... Okay. No! Dilver moment. This is unfortunate. I need to be careful to not get hit. Yeah, hopefully me. Do I need to break all these? Is that like the point of this section of the level? I'm going to, just in case. But I don't have to like backtrack. Oh, there's one down there. Classic Dilver moment. It's just like Halo CE. Are CE levels even that dark? In my recollection, they're definitely not, outside of the ones that are outside at nighttime. Which is like a few levels at the end of the game, right? What's the point of those? Okay. Yeah, okay. I did not need to break all of them. I wonder what the point of that was. Okay, Silver. That's the idea. This is not Sonic section, by the way, so I have no idea how long this level is going to be. Definitely long, though. Longer than I said it might potentially be at 10 minutes, so... Oh my god. Ow. Oh, right, this part.
Is that the power of Iblis?
The power of Iblis? The way he says that is very funny. Clairvoyant? Oh yeah, compared to Anniversary, I guess.
Come in regular intervals.
I gotta wait for that and then go. And then wait.
I'll have to get closer and use my power directly.
Waiting. There it is. And then go. Silver slur time. Iblis trigger. Okay, I'm gonna... I assume I don't need to wait here. I could probably make that, but I don't want to test it, so... I'm gonna chill out for a second. Oh yeah, I definitely could have made it. I feel like... Uh-oh. That's unfortunate. Silver Slurper indeed. Dilver and Datto. I like Datto a lot more than Dilver, to be honest. That's actually way further back than I remember the checkpoint being. Ow. Worm? Oh. Too early of a slam for the worm. Ow. You really gotta make sure you slam your worm at the right time. I regret.
What is that ball of flame? Is that the power
Datto
of
the
Iblis?
Hedgehog. Certified Dilver run. Hopefully. At this point. All this effort for nothing if it's not a Dilver run?
It seems like the attacks come in regular intervals.
If this isn't a Dilver moment, all my time has been wasted for nothing.
I'll have to get closer and use my power directly.
Waiting. There it is. I'm gonna skip this one. For my own mental health. But then not skip this one. Silver does sound vulgar. That's the best part. I'm also not gonna skip this one. Because I don't know where I need to go from this point. I think I just need to get on top, but... I don't know how long that's gonna take from here. Okay. Looking through Silver.
Let's go!
I did it. I did it.
Just as I expected.
What the? Oh my goodness. What a terrible place for the end of the level. Okay. This way?
Now all I have to do is take him down.
If this isn't a Dilver moment, I'm gonna cry. That's an insane time bonus. That's a B? That's crazy. Silver. This is sad. I've tried so hard to get the Dilver, and it didn't happen. Right. I remember this boss fight being awful, to be honest. But final silver boss fight.
Here I come, Iblis. This will be your end.
Ah. I think the idea is that you need to damage him enough before he gets here, otherwise he destroys part of your platform.
It looks like he's getting closer to his final form. You'll be in trouble if you let him get close. Try to keep him away from here.
You also... I don't know. I don't remember how this boss fight works. I think you just need to kill him fast enough and like be careful with when you attack, and so you like hit him enough times in time before he gets here. With your heavily limited ammunition. Oh, well, there goes a piece of ammunition. Speaking of. It's like a Diablo character. This is the thing Sonic triggered, yeah. I mean, no, but this is the thing that Mephiles tried to make Silver think Sonic triggered.
Sends out waves of flames, one after the other. You need to predict the next wave and
Yeah, I did that, Blaze. I didn't get hit. Were you not there? A little late on the tutorial.
he's trying to destroy this foothold. Silver, don't let him get you too.
I think we might already be too late to win. Now what? Oh. I don't know. I remember there being a thing where if you don't kill him fast enough, he just kills you and there's nothing you can do about it. I don't know like what the threshold is though, how many times you need to hit him before, you know, certain time intervals for that to matter. Hopefully we'll be fine.
He's going to try to destroy the foothold from a distance this time. Here it comes, Silver.
Silver boss fight? Maybe. I think you need to grab this, right? No. Okay. I thought you needed to grab that. Nope, that's broken. Look, I also love Blaze. Blaze is my favorite Sonic character. That's not true. Percival is my favorite Sonic character. Blaze is a close second to my favorite Sonic character. Percival is just kind of Blaze but cooler though. I think there was something that I had to do that I already messed up, and now I can't actually beat the boss fight, but I'm not sure. I remember having that issue on my first playthrough. You're gonna destroy the platform I'm standing on right now? Yes. Okay. Yep, that's it. We lost.
Not now.
If he gets in close, you'll have to do a lot of damage and push him back. If you can find an opening and jump on his head, use the right trigger to use your psychokinesis on his weak point.
Okay, well. Oh my god, the pillars. Oh.
It looks like
And I pushed out the other one?
to his final form. You'll be in trouble if you let him get close.
Maybe I should just like grab all of them at once. It might be impossible to deliver, but I don't think it is. I don't know, there's something you have to do, I think, with like throwing back the giant ball that he throws at some point, but I don't remember how.
He sends out waves of flames, one
It might be impossible to deliver though.
need to predict the next wave and
don't know. This is my... I know for sure this is my least favorite boss fight in the game, and I do not remember how to bypass it. Because it was so, like, difficult to try and figure out how to
Trying to destroy this foothold.
actually beat it.
Silver, don't let him get you too. Now, Silver.
Oh. And bam. How Blaze just dies in the middle of the boss fight. Really funny. Bonk. 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 Foreshadowing is a narrative device. Sorry.
He's going to try to destroy the foothold from a distance this
I
time. Here it comes, Silver.
I feel like I need to stop this from breaking the platform somehow. But I don't know how. I swear to God you can grab it. Hold on. Let me, Google. Sonic 06 Iblis Phase 3. Ah, yes. There is a Reddit post. Wait, what? Is there like a... Here's a boss guide, okay. The several cooling balls player must wait out Iblis's fireball attacks to gather some projectiles to throw. Iblis's fireballs do not last for a long time, unlike their cooling variant, so the player has to use them as soon as they get them. If Iblis is building up an attack, do not throw at him. Okay. So trick me there. Reaching foothold. Shattering the edges and making it smaller. The player can avoid the shockwaves. When he lowers his head. Okay. And forcing him to recoil back across the lava while he is falling back, several cooling fireballs. After having half of his health gauge depleted, Iblis will raise his arms and conjure up a massive lava sphere. The player will have just a few seconds to watch Iblis gather up the lava before he catapults the sphere across the foothold. When the lava sphere is almost up on the foothold, use PK to take control of it, just like a normal fireball. Okay, so you need to press the button earlier or later than I thought you did. Okay, so I think I'm just screwed then. I think I need to start over. But we'll see. I think you can also... Okay, I do need to start over. I can't even damage him at this point.
Here I come, Iblis. This will be your end.
I think you can grab these as well.
It looks like he's getting closer to his final form. You'll be in trouble if you let him get close. Try to keep him away from here.
Okay. I got one extra attack from that. I think I just need to like catch more of them. I don't know. I'm doing a lot more damage than I did last time. Maybe
He sends out
it should be fine. Hopefully.
one after the other. You need to predict the
Hopefully.
next wave and bait it. He's
Okay.
trying to destroy this foothold. Silver, don't let him get you too. Now, Silver.
Okay, there's half of his health. Which means he's gonna do the fireball, the big one. Oops. What? Okay. Good job, Silver. It's okay. Everything's fine.
He's going to try to destroy the foothold from a distance this time. Here it comes, Silver.
Thanks, Blaze. I couldn't see it. Hey, I got it that time. Nice. Bonk. Okay, in theory, I should be fine now. I should be able to actually win the boss fight. I just need to dodge a bunch of fire waves. Oh my goodness, that's very fast. An attack that's actually difficult to dodge? Oh, that was lower than I thought it was. That's crazy. Playing with his balls. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Really should have brought an ice bucket, yeah. Water would have helped a lot in this situation. I'm pretty sure if you miss the giant fireball, you just lose, and there's nothing you can do. But that's it. Yippee! Iron King does look very strange, huh? A very different boss fight from what I remember. Dark Souls 2 is looking kind of strange. Bearer of the Curse is looking like a weird anthropomorphic animal thing. Weird armor set. Hey, S rank. No, A, that's 30. I'm sad. It's okay. All right, that's Silver Story. So next time, I am going to play the final story and play quite a bit of, well, Project 06 is a lot shorter because you just move a lot faster in Project 06. So I'll probably play quite a bit of Project 06 next time I stream, which will hopefully be next Tuesday at the latest. Maybe Thursday. We'll see. Dilverless stream. Very sad.
I'll take Iblis.
I don't
Don't worry. My soul is already alit with flames.
I don't understand this, I don't think. Because, like, she's trying to hold Iblis like Elise did, right?
Come on, make it quick. Use your chaos control to stop time. Then seal us into a different dimension.
Oh, okay, they just... Right, I forgot. In my brain, she, like, dies and that kills Iblis, but now she goes to a different dimension.
To save the world at any price.
Yeah. We've done all 3 main stories, like I said. So final story next time, which is a pretty short story. The boss fight is weird, but Blaze, I don't think Blaze would be dead. I think she would just be in a different dimension, which is
Still so nice.
kind of what Sonic Rush is about. But obviously it's a different dimension because she doesn't have Iblis. She has the flame still. I don't know. Oh, there she goes. Yeah, she does kind of die. I mean, basically. She gets erased from this dimension. Same thing. Same difference. Hopefully the Solarius boss fight next time doesn't take me forever. I think it took me 10 minutes in my first playthrough. I couldn't figure out how to do it. We'll see how that goes. The Soul Dimension? I don't think she's canonically from the Soul Dimension in this game. Or, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Blaze's origins in this game and Rush are just completely different. Yeah, there we go. I guess that's it. I'm excited for next time so we can finish off this game and I don't know. I want to talk about Project 06. I will talk about Project 06. But I know my opinions on Sonic 06 are completely different from the majority of people because I really don't like Project 06. The theme music is incredible. His world is one of the best Sonic themes, full stop. Yeah, the game does not explain the Solaris boss fight very well at all. Silver doesn't lose his memory. The entire events of Sonic 06 get wiped completely. Like, Silver and Blaze only exist in the future in Sonic 06's story because of Iblis, right? Or because of Solaris, rather. And Solaris gets wiped from existence, right? The timeline where Solaris exists is just gone after the events of 06. So the timeline where Silver and Blaze are from the future is also just gone. So it's not really like a dimension thing or whatever. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I love you all. Hopefully we'll see you Thursday, if not next Tuesday. Yeah, I don't know how to end this.